Hi everyone, I am Sonal Anand and welcome to day 2 of my AI interview preparation series. In the previous session, we covered the fundamentals of artificial intelligence. Today, we will build on that foundation by exploring some of the most important machine learning concepts that are frequently asked in interviews. We will cover topics such as data sets, features, labels, training sets, validation sets, test sets, overfitting, underfitting, and the bias variance trade off. These concepts are the backbone of every machine learning model. Whether you are preparing for AI interviews or just starting your machine learning journey, these fundamentals are essential to understand. So, let's get started. Let's start with the first and most fundamental concept in machine learning, that is dataset. What is a dataset? Whenever we build a machine learning model, the first thing we need is data. A dataset is simply collection of that data which the model uses to learn patterns and make predictions. For example, suppose we want to predict whether a customer will purchase a product. We might collect information such as customer's age, income, and purchase history. When thousands of such records are combined together, they form a dataset. Datasets can come in many forms. They may be structured like Excel sheets, CSV files, and database tables. They can also be unstructured, such as images, audio recordings, videos, and text documents. One thing you will hear very often in machine learning is garbage in, garbage out. This means that if the dataset is poor, incomplete, or inaccurate, even the best machine learning model will struggle to produce good results. That's why a dataset is considered the foundation of every machine learning model. Now, let's talk about features. In machine learning, features are the input variables or attribute used by a model to make predictions. In interviews and machine learning discussions, you might also hear features being referred to as predictors or independent variables. But what does that actually mean? Let's say you want to predict the price of a house. Before making prediction, you would need information such as size of the house, number of bedrooms, location, and age of the property. These pieces of information help you make a decision. In machine learning, these pieces of information are called features. In simple terms, features are the information provided to the model so that it can learn patterns from the data and make predictions. Each feature represents a characteristic or measurable property of the data. One important thing to remember is that the quality of the features directly impact the model performance. Relevant features help the model make accurate predictions, while poor or irrelevant features can reduce accuracy. And if you are asked this question in an interview, a concise answer would be features are the input variables used by a machine learning model to make predictions. Now that we understand what features are, let's talk about labels. In machine learning, labels are the outputs that a model learns to predict. They represent the correct answer associated with the input features. You may also hear labels being referred to as target variables in interviews or machine learning discussions. Let's continue with our house price prediction example. If the size of the house, location, and number of bedrooms are the features, then the actual house price is the label. The model learns the relationship between these features and the corresponding label. In supervised learning, every training example has a label. These labels act as the correct answers that help the model learn during training. Labels can be of two main types: continuous labels and categorical labels. Continuous labels are used in regression problems such as predicting a house price, salary, or temperature. Categorical labels are used in classification problems such as spam or not spam or cat versus dog. And if you are asked this question in an interview, a concise answer would be labels are the outputs or target variables that a machine learning model learns to predict. A simple way to remember this is features are the input and labels are the outputs. Now that we understand features and labels individually, let's see how they work together. Features are the inputs provided to a machine learning model, while labels are the outputs that the model tries to predict. You may also hear features being referred to as predictors or independent variables, whereas labels are often called target variables. Let's continue with our house price prediction example. Suppose we provide information such as the size of the house, its location, and the number of bedrooms. These are the features. The actual price is the label. During training, the model learns the relationship between these features and the corresponding label. Once it understands this relationship, it can use the features of a new house to predict its price. From an interview perspective, a simple way to remember this is feature represent X, the inputs to the model, whereas label represent Y, the output the model is trying to predict. So in simple terms, features are the clues and labels are the answers. Now let's talk about the training set. A training set is the portion of the data set used to teach a machine learning model. During training, the model learns patterns, relationships, and rules from this data. Think of it as the learning material for the model. For example, imagine teaching a child to identify cats using hundreds of labeled cat photos. By repeatedly seeing these examples, the child gradually learns what a cat looks like. Similarly, a machine learning model learns from the training data. In most machine learning projects, the training set is the largest portion of the data set, often making up around 70 to 80% of the available data. One important thing to remember is that good performance on the training set alone does not mean the model is actually good. The real test is whether the model can perform well on new unseen data. And if you are asked this question in an interview, a concise answer would be a training set is the portion of the data set used to train a machine learning model and help it learn patterns from data. In simple terms, the training set is where the model learns. Now that we have seen how a model learns from the training set, let's talk about the validation set. A validation set is a portion of the data set used to evaluate a model during training. Unlike the training set, it is not used for learning. Instead, it helps us measure how well the model is performing on unseen data. Think of it like a student preparing for an exam. The training set is the study material, while the validation set is a practice test used to check progress and identify areas for improvement before the final exam. Typically, around 10 to 20% of the data set is used as a validation set. One of the key purposes of the validation set is to help detect overfitting. If a model performs very well on the training data but poorly on the validation data, it may be memorizing the training data rather than learning general patterns. The validation set is also used to compare different models and select the one that performs best before final evaluation. And if you are asked this question in an interview, a concise answer would be a validation set is a portion of data used during training to evaluate model performance and help improve the model before final testing. In simple terms, a validation set is where we check and improve the model. We have now seen how a model learns from the training set and improve using the validation set. The final step is to evaluate the model on completely unseen data, and that's where the test set comes in. A test set is a portion of the data set used to evaluate the final performance of a machine learning model. It represents completely unseen data and helps us understand how well the model is likely to perform in real world scenarios. Think of it as the final exam. The model learns using the training set, improves using the validation set, and finally evaluated using the test set. Typically, around 10 to 20% of the data set is reserved as the test set. One important thing to remember is that the test set should never be used during training or model tuning. If the model is allowed to see the test data beforehand, the evaluation will no longer be reliable. The purpose of the test set is to provide an unbiased estimate of the model's real-world performance. And if you are asked this question in an interview, a concise answer would be a test set is a portion of unseen data used to evaluate the final performance of a machine learning model after training and tuning are complete. In simple terms, the test set is the model's final exam. Now, let's talk about one of the most common problems in machine learning, that is overfitting. Overfitting occurs when a machine learning model learns the training data too well, including its noise and unnecessary details, but fails to generalize to new unseen data. Think of it like a student who memorizes answers from the previous exams instead of understanding the concepts. They may score extremely well on familiar questions but struggle when presented with new questions. The same thing happens in machine learning. An overfitted model performs very well on the training data because it has essentially memorized it. However, when it encounters new data that it has never seen before, its performance drops significantly. That is why one of the biggest signs of overfitting is the high training accuracy but low test accuracy. In simple terms, the model has memorized the training data rather than learning the underlying patterns. Overfitting is more common when a model becomes too complex and start memorizing the training data instead of learning general patterns. And if you are asked this question in an interview, a concise answer would be overfitting occurs when a model performs extremely well on training data but fails to generalize to unseen data. A simple way to remember this is overfitting is equals to memorization but not generalization. If overfitting happens when a model learns too much, the opposite problem is underfitting, where the model doesn't learn enough. Underfitting occurs when a machine learning model is too simple to learn the underlying patterns in the data. As a result, it performs poorly on both the training data and unseen data. Imagine trying to fit a straight line to data that actually follows a curve. Since the model is too simple to capture the true pattern, its predictions will be inaccurate. Unlike overfitting, where a model memorizes the training data, an underfitted model fails to learn the important relationships present in the data. One of the biggest signs of the underfitting is low training accuracy and low test accuracy. This indicates that the model is struggling even on the data it was trained on. Underfitting is commonly seen when a model is too simple for the complexity of the problem. And if you are asked this question in an interview, a concise answer would be underfitting occurs when a model is too simple to learn the underlying patterns in the data, resulting in the poor performance on both training and unseen data. A simple way to remember this is underfitting means the model has not learned enough. The bias variance trade-off helps us understand why these problems occur. Let's start with high bias. A model with high bias is usually too simple to capture the underlying patterns in the data. As a result, it performs poorly both on the training data and unseen data. This situation is known as underfitting. Now let's talk about high variance. A model with high variance is usually too complex and start memorizing the training data instead of learning general patterns. It performs very well on the training data but struggles when it encounters new unseen data. This situation is known as overfitting. As you can see, both extremes create problems. If the model is too simple, it underfits. If the model is too complex, it overfits. The goal in machine learning is to find a sweet spot between these two extremes where the model learns the important patterns in the data while still being able to generalize well it to new data. This is known as the bias variance trade-off. At this optimal balance, both training error and test error remain low, allowing the model to perform well on real-world scenarios. And if you are asked this question in an interview, a concise answer would be the bias variance trade-off is the process of balancing underfitting and overfitting to achieve the best generalization performance. A simple way to remember this is high bias leads to underfitting and high variance leads to overfitting. The goal is to find the optimal balance between these two. Before we wrap up, let's do a quick revision of everything we have covered today. A dataset is the collection of data used in machine learning. Features are the input variables, while labels are the outputs that the model learns to predict. The training set is used to teach the model, the validation set used to check and improve the model, and the test set is used for the final evaluation. We also learned about two common problems in machine learning, that is overfitting and underfitting. Overfitting happens when a model learns too much and memorizes the training data. On the other hand, underfitting happens when a model is too simple and fails to learn the underlying patterns. Finally, we discussed the bias variance trade-off, which is all about finding the right balance between underfitting and overfitting so that the model can generalize well to unseen data. If you remember these concepts, you'll have a strong foundation for both machine learning interviews and real-world AI applications. That's it for day 2 of AI interview preparation series. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like, share and subscribe so you don't miss the upcoming sessions in this series. Thank you for watching and I'll see you on day 3. Happy learning!